The only difference between your work and your play is your purpose. And this is huge to talk about, because your activity plus no purpose equals a drain for your life. And so maybe in the beginning it feels somewhat awesome to be doing a new job, starting something new. But how long is that actually going to last? And that's the thing here. And what I'm all about is finding what's going to last you a lifetime. And so what I do with clients when I work with clients is really building a solid foundation and solid habits on what's going to prolong your success, what's going to prolong your happiness, what's going to be in the long-term result. Because short-term, it's short-term, it doesn't last. And so it's really important for us to find something that is going to really fulfill us long-term. And so the only difference between your work and your play is your purpose. And I'll tell you right now, once I found my soul calling, the amount of energy that I have to fulfill my soul calling is unlimited. It's so abundant that I woke up two nights ago in the middle of the night at 3:30 because I had such a badass dream about what I was doing and what I was creating. And I woke up with so much energy. I was so inspired. I got up and I read. I started reading High Performance book by Brendon Burchard. And I actually got, I messaged, so a client actually messaged me and was just expressing to me how, he wasn't even a one-on-one client, actually. He's just been in the group and been watching me, and we've talked a little bit, and he's been on my lives and just my videos, and just that alone has been so transformational in his life. And he was just expressing this to me at 3:30 in the morning, my time. I'm not sure what it was for him, but the fact that I woke up and I'm receiving this as soon as I wake up, and I have all of this energy at 3:30 in the morning, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back to sleep right now. I was getting downloads. Just the amount of energy and inspiration I had was off the fucking charts, you guys. And so I'm going to tell you right now, what is it costing you to not be in alignment with your soul purpose? And I'm going to give you four things that it's costing you. Number one is your time. Your freaking time. You're just spinning your wheels, just trying to get by, just trying to survive, just doing what you've been told. But don't get me wrong, it's not your fault. That's how you've been trained. That's how you've been programmed. So it's not your fault. But what it's costing you to not find your true soul calling and your purpose is your time. And your time, is money. It is valuable. Which leads to number two, which is money. It's such a paradox. Because it's like, you feel like your purpose is to be an artist, right? Or a musician. But how many artists and musicians actually make it in the world, right? And so your mind's going to be like, how am I going to be in that, top 10% of artists and musicians that actually make it in the world? How's that going to be me? That can't be me. And as soon as you say that, as soon as you limit yourself to, I can't have that, I can't do that, I can't become that, the game is freaking over. It's done. And so, but the thing is you're going to have an abundance of energy when you actually go after your passion because you're doing it with a purpose. And so it will unlock your financial freedom, your financial abundance. So that you can, get some organic food and give yourself high quality clothing and high quality shoes that don't break after 2 months of wearing them, and travel the world and maybe go first class because you have a back that hurts after a 20-hour plane ride. So you want to, be able to spread out. And so there's not it's costing you money to not be in your purpose. And so you're going to have an unlimited amount of energy when you're in your soul purpose because it's your passion, it's your purpose, it's what you're meant to do. So you're going to strive to make that vision happen. And you have to know that it's possible. And that's why you get a coach. I'm a soul purpose coach. I'm a spiritual transformation coach. This is what I do. How to find your calling and make a life around it, right? That's the idea. That's what Spirit has told me is my calling, because your purpose isn't meant to be a side gig. It's meant to be a full-time job if you desire to be in the highest alignment with your destiny. Okay? So the third thing is impact and influence. So if you feel called to contribute to the world, to serve in some way, not being in alignment with your purpose is costing you the amount of impact and influence that you are having in the world. Because you're too busy focused on just surviving, just getting by. Maybe your health isn't that great. Maybe you're running into some mental stuff. You have some negative feedback going on. Relationship problems. You're having all this resistance in your life. You don't have enough time and energy. And you guys, you don't know how many clients I've spoken to where it's like, yeah, I love doing readings, but they're not charging for the readings. And so eventually you just get worn out. You just get burnt out, and maybe you're not receiving the feedback that as much as you're putting into it. And so you get burnt out. And then when you really are a spiritual coach and you really are supposed to help people with their life and themselves, but you're not receiving back, so you're not making the influence on the impact. And the thing is like, money is not a bad thing. It's what we have it here as just an exchange. So someone that lives in Africa can exchange with me here in America. It's just an exchange system, you guys. We put these judgments on, all the corruptness that it's caused. And if we can just get rid of money, then we'd have chaos. Then we just have this barter system. But either way, it's about an energetic exchange. So I don't even put my time and focus on we shouldn't have money, because we do have it and it's not going away. So might as well use it to our advantage and find out the science and the psychology of money and how to attract more of it into your life, to use it to better your life and to help more people. The more money you make, the more you can just, here's $5,000 1 month, give it to somebody who needs it. The more money you have, the more you can share. Okay, so your impact and your influence it's costing you highly to not be in alignment with your soul calling and purpose, because it's the impact, it's the influence that you're here to make. Your soul is destined to contribute and give a message to the world in some way. And to not be in alignment with that is not getting that message out there, not sharing your story with the world. Your story is meant to be shared with the world. All the pain that you've been through is for a reason, and people need to know about it so it can stop. So when people are in abusive relationships, if you've been in abusive relationships, you can share your story and become a relationship coach or mentor or guide or teacher, and hey, this is what I went through. This is my story. Learn from me, unless you truly feel like you need to go through all of that pain. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is my intuitive sense about it. This is, just if somebody's reaching out for help with their life, then you're meant to help them. So your story plays a huge part in what you're here to do, the impact and influence you're here to make. But if people don't know, they don't know. So my purpose in serving you and finding your purpose and your calling is to get your message out there. We have to market it. We have to get it out there. So now we're going into soulpreneurship, which business, right? And that's why I do what I do and why it's structured the way that it is, so that we go through the healing process, we find your purpose and your calling, and how now we need to make a lifestyle around it so that you can work from home and work, a couple hours a day serving people, and you make enough income so that you can do the things that you need to do to fill your own cup so you can show up 100% for others. Pretty basic psychology, right? It's pretty basic system. The fourth thing is happiness, you guys. You're robbing yourself of your happiness by not being in alignment with your soul purpose. You really are. You think that, I'm content. I don't hate my job. I'm not, it's not bad. Like, it could be worse, you know? So then we find gratitude in it, which is great, of course. But I want to give you permission that it's okay to want more for yourself. It's okay. And don't get me wrong, I know that if you have self-worth problems, like I know I have, and it's a huge battle to get over. It's a huge demon to get over, you guys. I totally get it. Because we've been programmed to, like, just kind of settle and, like, settle for what's meant for us and what we're capable of and what enough is. And, like, I'm just content, you know. 95% of America is just content with their lives. They're just doing what they need to get by and, you know, making a, you know, pretty good life for themselves. But I'm here to tell you that the amount of bliss and happiness that you can experience when you're in alignment with your soul purpose, just to freaking take that leap and jump into it, I couldn't imagine it any other way. I asked when I went through my spiritual awakening, I'm like, universe, God, source, creator, I don't know what I believe in right now, but I need something that's worth living for because I'm aware of the system. I don't like it. I don't want to just get a job that everyone else is doing or going to or whatever and going to school just like everybody else and being in debt just like everyone else. I mean, we're like 3 trillion or even more in debt, in college debt, America. Just to be like everybody else, just go, you know, I don't want that. That isn't what I'm here to do. I want something that is worth living for. Otherwise, I'm not going to participate. I'll either off myself or become a vegetable and go crazy. Take enough acid, it'll fucking work, man. I will not participate if I don't receive something that's worth living for. And I will not settle for anything less. And so that's why I'm here in front of you today. Really, do not settle for anything less than absolute, just God experience, just universe experience. Even if you aren't sure what that even feels like, ask yourself, I wonder what it would feel like to be in alignment with my soul's truth, to be in alignment with my soul's destiny. I wonder what it feel like to have God's abundance just overflowing in my life. God's wealth just overflowing in my life. I wonder what that would feel like. Because it's possible, because people experience it. I'm one of them. So I'm here to tell you and inspire you. Don't waste any more time thinking about thinking. You don't know what you don't know. And you take this video and freaking run with it and book that call with me. That's completely free. Let's see if I'm the right teacher for you. If not, I can point you in the direction of someone that will be. You need to invest into yourself. You need to get out there. You need to get out into the game. There is more for you. No matter what you've been through, if you've been through addiction, you've been to jail, you have PTSD, you have anxiety, you're depressed, you don't know what the fuck's going on, you're going through a spiritual awakening, you feel lonely as hell. What do? You reach out to people that are here to make influences in the world, that are dedicating their lives to change yours, to transform yours. I love you guys so much. And that's what I'm here to do, is transform lives and influence the world in massive ways. And I know that that's what you're capable of. If you don't want to serve on a massive scale, you want to serve on a smaller scale, just, and work your way up, that's fine. I'm here to create influencers. I'm here to create leaders and guides and mentors and teachers, to put them into their power, so that when you step into your power, that means you're calling out those people from the darkness that need you. They need you, and they're going to be there in that darkness until you realize you're light. We're all connected here. And that's deep. I love you guys. I wanted to make this somewhat short. I'm going to post a link to book a call with me this week. We have our mastermind launching July 14th. We have 14 spots left. And those spots I have a lot of calls this week, so make sure you get on that as soon as possible. And we have early bird pricing still till the end of this week, till Saturday. So I'm really excited to work with you guys. Let's do this. I love you, and have a great Sunday.